Rockhurst hockey fans, we are coming at you live from Independence, Missouri at the Community Ice Center. Tonight we will have Rockhurst Hawklets versus the Kansas City Saints. Looking forward to a really good matchup here this evening. Trying to position the camera here still. I think that'll do it. So hopefully some of you are out there on YouTube. I posted the link out on the Rockhurst Hockey Facebook page, which should take you into YouTube. And if you're subscribed to YouTube, you should see it coming right up in your subscriptions here. So it is December 6th. We are targeting a 3:45 start here. Rockhurst is home in the blue. The visiting Saints are in the white with the blue and yellow accent. Rockhurst had a successful evening last night against the St. Joe Griffins with a nail-biter 3-2 win right at the end. Unfortunately, I was not able to be here to stream that one, but I think you can pick it up on the St. Joe channel. So, this is the varsity matchup, and immediately after this we'll have a JV contest. I do have the score clock up here. I'm going to attempt to do that. We'll see how that goes. But I'll be announcing the times and everything as I go, just to try to make sure. We'll start with a 15-minute first period here. We have about just under 2 minutes left in the warm-up period. I've got some Zoom features here. I'm getting real fancy here tonight. Probably too much for my own good, but we'll give it a try. That should be about right. More tilt on that. There we go. Trying to get both ends. We don't have a very good vantage point in this rink, so we'll do the best we can. I think that's about as good as we're going to do. Trying to get most of the action in the screen here. Alright, and there's the buzzer, signifying the end of the warm-up session. Teams are gathering the pucks. Rockhurst gathering down at the net. A little pre-game pep session. Saints head to their bench. Rockhurst breaks the huddle. Looks like Rockhurst will be sending out on the forward line. Coleman centering, Teven and Kress. Rockhurst looks ready. No formalities today. They're just dropping the puck, and we're underway. Teven comes away with the puck. Saints break it up, heading back through the neutral zone. Coleman swings back to pick it up. Cross ice pass to Teven. Teven dumps it in, long, behind the net. Rockhurst hustles down to pick up the puck. Riccardi stands strong at the blue line, breaks it up. Teven hustles back, sends it up along the sideboards. Coleman hustles back, gets the puck out of the zone. Saints have to retreat. Saints pull it back to their own blue line. Rockhurst changing up a couple people on the fly. Saints dump it in, they go for a change. Rockhurst down in the corner, coming up the sideboards. Rockhurst trying to break it out, held in by the Saints. Rockhurst again trying to break it out. They finally squeak that one out over the blue line. McTavish battling along the boards. And it's a breakaway. Here comes Korntager with a shot and a goal. That was a quick one. So Rockhurst up by a score of 1-0 at 13:45 into the first period. 13:45 left in the first period. That's just minute 15 seconds into the game, and Rockhurst has already put one on the board. They had a nice breakaway. Korntager continues his scoring rampage. Puck drop, center ice. Won by Rockhurst. Saints pick it up, though. They send it cross ice. Down into the corner, behind the Rockhurst net. Rockhurst bringing it up the sideboards. They fling it out. Goes all the way down the ice, but it will not be icing. It does not cross that goal line. Saints swing it around. Rockhurst picks it up on defense. Cross ice pass. Rockhurst sends it across. And that looks like an offsides on Rockhurst. Or an icing. I guess it's an icing. That's coming all the way back down. Puck drops, push that back into the corner. Saints pick it up behind the net. Saints wheeling around looking for a play. They send it back to the point. Shot from the point, hits traffic, deflects into the sideboards. Saints dump it down in. Rockhurst getting physical behind the net. Rockhurst comes away with the puck. Rockhurst sends it out, tipped by the Saints player at the blue line. It goes all the way down the ice, so that's not an icing. Saints come around from behind the net. They send it back the other direction up the sideboards. Saints trying to break it out. Broken up by McTavish at the blue line. Back and forth. Here comes the Saints coming in strong over the blue line. Broken up by Teven. Teven hustling back to break up that play. Teven sends it up to Kress along the sideboards. Kress taps it out. Everyone gives chase. Saints around behind the net with a little speed. They're coming through the neutral zone. Press back in the corner, trying to break that up. A little physicality behind the net again. Rockhurst trying to break it out, stopped at the blue line. Coleman back in the corner, sends it around behind the net. Tavish. Teven picks it up in front of the net. That'll be no ice, as the Saints player just barely tipped that one. Rockhurst, full change of personnel. Saints changing some personnel. Saints trying to take advantage of Rockhurst on the fly, but Rockhurst hustles out there, getting physical right in front of us here. Some good hockey action. Rockhurst swinging around behind the net. Rockhurst trying to tip it out, intercepted at the blue line by the Saints. Saints coming in strong, but ridden off by Rockhurst. There's Rockhurst trying to come through the zone. Pushing and shoving down in the corner. Saints come away with it. They're breaking it out, coming through the neutral zone over the red line. Long shot, saved by Houlihan. So we're at 10:34 left in the first period. Rockhurst up by a score of 1-0. Rockhurst trying to break it out. Saints hustle back to break that one up. Rockhurst coming right through. Shot from the top of the circle. Goes wide. Rockhurst trying to break it up. Saints trying to come over the blue line. Rockhurst holds him in. Alibrando holding it in. Christian coming around. Dishes it over to McTavish. Long shot from the point. Deflected by the Saints goaltender down into the corner. Puck comes around behind the net. Here comes Rockhurst, wheeling around, side of the circle, Christian. Broken up at the blue line by Riccardi. Shot from the point by Rockhurst. Hits traffic, rebound. Couldn't quite find a handle on it. Riccardi trying to break it up. Saints intercept, they're on a breakaway. Rockhurst hustling back, goes wide. Looks like Rockhurst is going to end up with a tripping penalty here. That was a little over-aggressive on the defense there. So I think Rockhurst is going to be shorthanded here for 2 minutes. Rockhurst up by a score of 1-0. It says 2-0 on my scoreboard, but I'm not sure why. Not sure how to change it either on the fly like this. But I'll get it squared up at some point. The score is 1-0. 9 minutes, 22 seconds left in the period. And Rockhurst down one man. That's the Saints with a one-man advantage. We'll go ahead and start that. Rockhurst able to ice it down the length of the ice, kill a little time there. Saints regrouping behind the net. Here comes the Saints. Got their play together. Rockhurst forechecking, breaking it up. Rockhurst not letting them get very organized there. Great hustle by Rockhurst. Rockhurst takes it back into the corner. Sends it behind the net. Rockhurst still after him, forechecking, and Rockhurst slings one all the way down the ice. That'll burn some time. We're at 8:34. First period. Rockhurst just badgering the Saints, just not letting them get anything going. Saints finally break it out, coming over center ice. Saints try to pass, can't find the trigger on that puck. Saints circling, looking for a play. And they shoot from a far angle. Wow, what a shot. That was quite the shot by the Saints player there. Because they shot one from far over on the side of the ice. Way back at the side of the circle. I'm not surprised they shot it. I'm a little surprised it managed to find its way into the net from that angle. Good hard shot, nothing wrong with it. Face off, center ice. Rockhurst wins the face off. Both teams at full strength now. Saints quickly bring it down again. 7:59 left. Saints trying to push one in again. Rockhurst breaks it up into the corner. That one hits Houlihan. He smothers it. Wasn't quite sure where it went, but he was able to smother that one down. Score is 1-1. 7 minutes, 44 seconds left in the first period. Puck is dropped but quickly whistled down. Both teams full strength. Face off, Rockhurst wins it, brings it back around behind their own net, sends it up the sideboards and out of the zone. Rockhurst hustling after it. Saints send it out. Rockhurst picks it up to center ice. Callahan sends it across. Alibrando looking for a wing who wasn't there. Rockhurst gets it. They send it down. No ice. It was shot from behind the red line, but tipped off the Saints stick, so it's no icing. Rockhurst putting some pressure on, keeping it down in the Saints' end. Saints trying to formulate a play. They break one out, but Ricardo there to pick it up. Ricardo and McTavish don't quite connect, and that one deflects out into the Rockhurst bench. 6:51 left in the first period. Rockhurst won, Saints won. Face-off is going to be to the right of Houlihan here. Face-off, pretty much a draw. Goes down into the corner. Teven looking for Coleman. Coleman looking for Teven again, broken up by the Saints. Long shot by the Saints from the point. Houlihan was ready for it. Saints intercepted that pass and didn't waste any time throwing that right at the goal. 6 minutes, 34 seconds left in the first period. Face-off to the right of Houlihan. Rockhurst wins the face-off, brings it back into their own corner, looking to break it out. Shot at the point, and it dribbles past. With Kress chasing down. Chet Teven comes over to pick it up along the sideboards. Saints dig it out. Saints fire it all the way down the ice. That won't be an icing. Rockhurst back to get it. Saints once again just fire anytime they can see that goaltender. They are shooting. They are not wasting time looking for the perfect shot. So Houlihan needs to stay alert because that puck can come from anywhere. Six minutes left in the first period. Score, Rockhurst 1, Saints 1. Puck is dropped, Rockhurst wins it, draws it back in behind their net. Saints clear one all the way down from center ice. goes in behind. McTavish back to fetch it. McTavish sends it up the sideboard. Stopped at the point. Long shot from the point by the Saints. Another shot by the Saints. Deflected back behind the goal by Houlihan. Another shot. Centering pass. And that's a score. So that's with 5 minutes 30 seconds left. Saints 2, Rockhurst 1. Saints shoot one down in behind the net. Rockhurst back to collect it. Saints break it up at the blue line. Rockhurst not letting them get anything on it. Saints send it towards the net. Rockhurst breaks it up. Rockhurst moves it up to Alibrando. Alibrando tips it in. Does not quite go in the net. Nice shot. Saints trying to send it out. They don't connect on a pass that goes all the way down there. Should be an ice, and it is. 4 minutes, 46 seconds left in the first period. Saints 2, Rockhurst 1. Somehow I got to get this scoreboard to reflect right. I don't know why it keeps double scoring things. And I'm sure it's operator error on my part. Anyway, face-off is going to be to the left of the Saints goaltender. Coleman, Kress, Teven on the front line. Puck is dropped. And Rockhurst wins it, sends it around behind the net. Kress chasing. Saints come away with it. Saints bounce it out of the zone and across the red line. Saints with a centering pass and a shot smothered by Houlihan. 4 minutes, 26 seconds left in the first period. Saints lead by a score of 2-1. Face-off. Behind the net, McTavish digging for it. And what do we have here? Oh, I think it just bounced out of play. Four minutes, 11 seconds left. First period, Saints lead by a score of 2-1 over Rockhurst. Face-off. Back to the point for the Saints. Saints with a long shot, deflects through traffic. Saints fire one in, hits traffic, goes into the corner. Saints send one across the net. Rockhurst digs it out in the corner. McTavish into the corner. Saints hitting. Rockhurst picks it up. Rockhurst digging for it. Rockhurst just fires one down the ice. They needed to regroup there. So they decide to fling one just all the way down the ice and get a change of personnel. Bring it back down in front of their own net. 3 minutes, 35 seconds left in the first period. Saints leading 2-1. Face-off to the right of Houlihan. Saints win the face-off. They bring it over to the sideboard. Saints looking to put it out in front of the net. They bring it all the way out to the point. Shot in from the point, dump it down into the corner. Rockhurst clears the zone, keeping the pressure on. Saints coming around behind the net. Rockhurst keeps it in. Saints looking to clear. They send one up, high up on the glass, deflected off the Rockhurst player. So that won't be an icing. Both players hustle down to get it. Rockhurst trying to get it out, broken up at the point by the Saints. Long shot from the point by the Saints. Goes wide. Saints center pass, don't connect on that pass. Saints sending one in. It's clear that the Saints are just firing at will. When they can see that goaltender, even if they can't, they're sending it in. Rockhurst finally clears the zone. Saints along the sideboards, broken up at center ice by Rockhurst. Rockhurst dumps one down in on goal. The goaltender clears it to the corner. Both teams making some personnel change. Here comes Saints attempting a long shot, batted down by Rockhurst. Here comes Rockhurst, 1-on-2. Puts on the brakes, turns it back, intercepted by the Saints player. Saints coming across the goal line. Saints with a shot into traffic, deflected by the Rockhurst defense. Saints send one in on goal, soft shot. Houlihan covers, gets a break in the action. So we are here with 1 minute 39 seconds. Saints leading by a score of 2-1. Puck drop, won by the Saints. Rockhurst picks it up behind their own net, sends it around. Rockhurst sends it out of the zone. Saints looking for a pass. They don't hit anybody. Rockhurst picks it up, brings it behind their own net, sends it all the way around. And not sure what that was. We got a whistle and the puck's coming all the way down the ice, which usually looks like some kind of a penalty, but there does not appear to be any penalty called. We got 1:15 left in the first period. Might have been a hand pass. Saints win the face-off, send it around behind the net. Saints centering pass, broken up by Teven. Saints send one behind the net. Rockhurst trying to dig it out from the corner. Teven hits Coleman, or Kress. Kress trying to break it out. Saints stop it. Rockhurst back to pick up the puck. Rockhurst regrouping. Sends one to Kress. Kress trying to get it to Teven, but intercepted. Rockhurst sends it out across the blue line. Getting it out over center ice. Rockhurst changing up on the fly. Saints just fling one down across ice as they're also looking to change out the personnel. Rockhurst gets one, sends it in on goal, and that will do it for the period. So I'm going to attempt to get the score set correctly. After the end of one period, it's the Saints 2, Rockhurst 1. Going into the second period, which will be a 15-minute period. I think I got everything set correctly here now. Nope, not quite. Try this this clock again. Looks like we got it correct here. Rockhurst 1, Kansas City Saints 2. We're at the first intermission of the second period. Getting ready to start the second period, so 15 minutes, stop clock. Good hockey game. Both teams with plenty of opportunities. Everybody's on the ice. Ref's ready to drop the puck. And we are underway. Rockhurst wins the face-off, sends it on the sideboards. Broken up. Good hit by Callahan along the sideboards. Rockhurst looking to formulate a play. They send it up ice into the neutral zone. Big hit by the Saints on Rockhurst. Saints bring it around in front of their own net, backhand up the sideboards, broken up by Rockhurst. Saints intercept that clearing attempt. Saints pressuring in strong, trying to get that shot on goal, and they do get a shot, and that one just dribbles by Houlihan. So it was a backhand shot that Houlihan couldn't quite get the handle on, and the puck just kept dribbling and dribbling in behind him and finally went in. So at 14:25, the Kansas City Saints now lead by a score of 3-1. Rockhurst sends out the Coleman-Teven-Kress line on offense. Saints win the face-off. Saints come in with a shot, quick shot. Houlihan stops it. Rebound picked up by Rockhurst. Another shot from the point by the Saints. They send that one all the way in. Houlihan does not allow a deflection on that one and smothers it. Face-off is going to be to the left of Houlihan. Coleman centering. Rockhurst gets it. Coleman goes back into the corner for it. Tries to get it up the press along the side. Teven chasing, Coleman chasing. Coleman and Teven stop the play. Coleman gives chase, but the Saints send it through the neutral zone. Coleman picks it up, circling, looking for a pass. He sends it up along the sideboards, up to Teven. Teven comes across, tries a long shot, deflected by the defense into the corner. Here comes Saints, trying to come up along the sideboards. Picked up by Coleman. Saints take it away. Rockhurst changing, they need to watch it. That was a little sloppy on the fly there, almost got caught with too many men. Here comes Rockhurst with a hard shot from the angle. Plump stops it at mid-ice. Shot from top of the circle by the Saints, deflected by Houlihan with a blocker save back into the corner. Rockhurst trying to clear. Saints standing strong at the blue line. Rockhurst finally gets control of it. Here comes Callan down in along the sideboards. Callan with a shot, goes wide, comes all the way back to the point. And that's dumped back in by Rockhurst behind the net. Rockhurst picks up a loose puck, can't quite materialize on that one. McTavish holds it in at the blue line. Saints trying to break it out. Rockhurst stops him, sends it back up the sideboards. Getting some physicality. Saints send it in behind the net. Another check by Rockhurst along the boards. Saints try to send one through. McTavish breaks it up. Puck gets shot down the ice, and that is not an ice, I do not believe. Oh, it is an ice, okay. So Rockhurst apparently sent that one out, trying to break it out, and sent it all the way down the ice. We have 11 minutes, 38 seconds left. Trying to get the clock caught up here. Saints are leading by a score of 3-1. Face-off goes back into the Rockhurst corner. Rockhurst brings it up along the sideboards. Here comes Alibrando. Alibrando with a pass to center. Backhand pass, back to Alibrando. Great save by the Saints goalie. Excellent play by Rockhurst to move that puck back and forth coming down the ice. Shot by Rockhurst again, cleared by the goaltender, but down into the corner. Saints digging for it in the corner. Rockhurst back checking. Good to see them hustling back, not letting the Saints get a very well-organized play. Rockhurst sends it up along the sideboards. Broken up by Rockhurst. They send it clear across the ice. Alibrando chasing. Rockhurst breaks up the play, sends it back into the neutral zone. Saints retreat into their own zone, looking to get something organized. Saints just send it through the neutral zone, picked up by Rockhurst. Rockhurst up to Teven. Teven backhands it into the zone. Teven chasing. Rockhurst trying to get it out. Saints knock him off the puck. Deflected into traffic. Coleman picks it up. Coleman flips it out of the zone. And that dribbles down. Saints send it all the way down the ice. They say no ice. Rockhurst sends it out. Saints back to retrieve it at their own blue line. Saints coming up through the center ice. Three Rockhurst players converge. Take that puck away. Puck down in the corner still. Rockhurst able to nudge it out. Coleman breaks one through. Coleman into the corner, looking for a pass. Coleman puts one out in front. Broken up by the Saints before Teven could find the handle. Saints hustling back. Rockhurst hustling harder. Rockhurst gets it out. Not quite. Just stuck at the blue line. Saints send one in on net. Pick up a quick loose puck and fire a quick one. I'll tell you what. The Saints are going to shoot every time they see that puck, I can tell you that. So we've got 8:53 left in the second period. Saints leading by a score of 2-1. Puck drops. Rockhurst wins it. Rockhurst brings it out of the zone. Cowan coming across the red line. Saints break it up at the neutral zone, come across center ice, and dump it all the way down into the Rockhurst zone. Rockhurst chases it back. Rockhurst sends one all the way down, and it is right on goal, so it will not be an icing. Saints coming out of their own end, looking for a cross-ice pass, broken up by Rockhurst. And then that causes an offside for the Saints. So we've got 7 minutes, 57 seconds left in the first period. Saints leading by a score of 3-1. Face off. Pulled back to the Saints. Saints bringing it in. Long shot. Broken up by McTavish. Dribbles down to Houlihan. Houlihan covers it. Both teams keeping the same personnel on the ice. 7 minutes, 47 seconds left in the second period. Not sure what we got going on here. Face off, won by Rockhurst, goes back in behind the Rockhurst net. Rockhurst bringing it up along the sideboards. Now Rockhurst sends it back the other direction, trying to break it out on that side. Rockhurst gets it out, and that will not be an icing as it was tipped by the Saints player, so it goes all the way down the ice. Saints looking for a quick play here. Rockhurst keeping the forechecking on. Back in, quick shot, goes wide. That was a great opportunity for Rockhurst there, just went wide of the net. McTavish makes an aggressive move. Puck gets past him. McTavish chases it down, puts a hit on in the corner. Comes away with the puck. Rockhurst trying to break it up the ice. Saints send one all the way down the ice. Both teams looking like they need a breather. And they're both going to get one. 6 minutes, 37 seconds left in the second period. Saints 3, Rockhurst 1. Face off to the right of the Saints goaltender. Face off goes to the Saints. Saints bring it back in behind their net. Klump standing at the blue line, puts one in on net, hits traffic, deflected by the goaltender back into the corner. Rockhurst comes away from the corner with it, trying to put it to the point, but the Saints intercept. Saints coming down. Rockhurst with the pick check. Drives the play into the corner. Rockhurst flips it up, deflected. Saints coming through the neutral zone, back the other direction. 2-on-1 opportunity. Saints shoot one high. Saints picked one up there, and once again, the Saints just firing away. So that brings us to a score of 4-1. With the Saints leading by a score of 4-1 with 5 minutes and 50 seconds left in the second period. Face off center ice. Saints pick it up, send it around behind the net. Saints bringing it down, top of the circle, looking for a shot. They don't get much on it. Puck bounces right out in front of Houlihan. Nobody able to get their hand on it. Rockhurst back in behind the goal. Saints looking to pass it out. Rockhurst finally clears the zone. It's a foot race. Rockhurst gets there first, gets a shot. Goaltender is able to save that one. It was a tough one to get any wood on it, but good hustle by Rockhurst to get to that puck first with two Saints in hot pursuit. So we have 5 minutes, 1 second left in the second period. Saints leading by a score of 4-1. Face off to the right of the Saints goaltender. Saints come away with it, bring it back into their corner. Saints send it all the way down the ice, and that one is waved off. Somebody must have tipped it because it clearly went all the way down the ice. Saints battling for it in the corner. They come out with a shot. Goes in behind the net. Rockhurst there first, sends it back up to the point. Intercepted by Christian. Puck dribbles in, goaltender bats it away into the corner. Saints come back around with it. Here comes Christian with another rush down the ice. Christian into the corner. Saints trying to break it out. Rockhurst there to stand him up at the red line. Rockhurst battling for Alabrondo. Quick shot, broken up by the defense. Rockhurst battling again, and they put it in. Rockhurst just was relentless. They kept the pressure on. They were relentless, and they got that puck in the net finally. Callahan puts one in. That's the way to keep the pressure on. They just didn't give up. So with 3 minutes, 48 seconds left in the second period, Rockhurst brings the score up to 2 against the Saints 4. So we'll have a face-off at center ice. Looks like we got Coleman, Press, Teven back on the ice. Rockhurst battling for it. Teven dumps a long one into the corner. Rockhurst chases. Press in the other corner, battling. Saints trying to send it up. Klump keeps it in. Long shot from the point. Deflected by the goaltender. Press trying to get a handle on it. It looked like a trip there, but apparently not. Saints send it around behind. Rockhurst keeps it in. Saints pick it up in their corner. Saints fling one. They've got an open man cherry picking. That was a hell of a defensive effort there by Rockhurst. Wow, what hustle to get back. Saints left a cherry picker way down there, and they attempted to get that through. Klump tries a shot, gets deflected by the Saints player back into the neutral zone. Rockhurst sends one down into the corner. 2:25 left in the second period. Saints looking for that cherry picker again. They shoot a long one in, it goes up into the netting. So we have 2 minutes, 17 seconds left in the second period. Saints 4, Rockhurst 2. Good game, good physical game, good hustle, plenty of shots and opportunities. Rockhurst, Cowan battling for it, sends it back into the corner. Rockhurst clears the zone. Saints have to come back to pick it up. Rockhurst pressuring. Puck goes into the corner. McTavish passes it in. Cowan digs in behind the net for it. Rockhurst battling along the sides. Here comes the Saints. 2-on-1. Rockhurst hustling back with some great back checking to break that play up. Saints send it back to the point. Rockhurst unable to clear it. Saints dump it back down in. Rockhurst breaks up another attempt. Saints fire from the point, hits traffic, bounces into the corner. Rockhurst trying to clear. They can't get it past the Saints defender. Saints in behind the net. They send it around, trying to get it to their point, but Rockhurst gets there first. Puck bounces up, bounces back down in. Saints pick it up again behind the net. Saints dish it to the point. Long high shot from the point. Saints pick it up. They centering pass goes right through the slot. Nobody able to get it. Rockhurst picks it up and they're coming down. Rockhurst trying to get a play on here. 33 seconds left in the period. Tavish battling along the sideboards. Saints dump it in around behind the net. And they hustle back. Saints broke it up. Here they come again, looking for a shot. Broken up by the defense. Rockhurst sends one out, and it goes all the way down the ice, and it hits the goal line just as time expires. So that will be the end of the second period. Saints lead by a score of 4-2. And I'm going to let my clock run out here. But the second period is most definitely over. So we're going to take a break here. Zamboni's going to come out and do the ice. And I'm going to try to pause this thing if I can. I think I can just pause it and resume when we're ready to resume play here. So I'm going to give that a shot. There you go.